Hi everyone! Again, welcome to our Microsoft Learning session, and for this time, we'll talk about the ins and outs of Microsoft technology, which is the MS PowerPoint. Before I start, please bear with me with some minor sound problems. There will be some occasional background noises, so I apologize for those. And let me formally introduce myself. My name is Seth Munar. I am a BS Computer Engineering first year student here in APC. I'm also a DOST SCI scholar and currently the Director of Marketing and Promotions in APC Microsoft Community. If you have any concerns about my presentation or problems that may occur, please contact me through my email srmonar2 at student.apc.edu.ph, which you can see in the screen right now. So let's start. So PowerPoint is one of the most used Microsoft apps. It is made by the Microsoft Corporation, and its description is to create, collaborate, and effectively present your ideas. This app is compatible with Windows 10 and Mac OS. PowerPoint may be a diverse app, but what are these usages? There are three general usages for students. PowerPoint can be used as a visual aid for ideas, to keep the attention of your audience instead of just hearing your talk. It also allows the audience to visualize or imagine your ideas through pictures. Maybe if you're talking about inventing a new machine, you can use pictures to highlight main parts of your talk. It can also be used as a layout process, flow, whenever you propose something. Usually, we use this when we present the three basic process flow: input, process, and output. And you can use it to show data through graphs. It is easier to know the trend of your data by showing the graph whether it is decreasing or increasing of pinpoint and data. Now, there are four significances of your presentation that is connected to your audience. So it is important to know what kind of audience that you have. The kind of audience should influence on how you will create your presentation. Analytical are most connected to professions that deals with mathematical data and statistics. Most of the time, you use data and facts in your presentation instead of personal opinions and explanations. Using graphs are great here if you want to show data of economy or any other data that represents an y-axis or an x-axis. Next would be the functional. Functional use focuses on plannings and processes. Your presentation must be procedural or step-by-step. If your audience is composed of event planners, architects, and people dealing with business proposals. If you want to plan an event such as a birthday, a wedding, you can provide a presentation that deals with plans starting from the presentation, preparation to the event itself. Next is the intuitive. Intuitive deals with general audience, and a great example is TED Talk. If you want to give the audience a great general idea, make it simple yet impactful. And lastly, personal emphasizes relationship and mutual thinking. This is mostly when you're meeting with friends and having informal discussions. Most of the time, you make sure your feelings known to others to influence the audience. Now that you know how to make your presentation based on your audience, we can talk about how you can design your presentation. Color is needed to make sure you want your presentation readable as possible. One critical point here is the choice of color. If you want the background dark, you can color the text with a lighter color, commonly white. And if you want a lighter color background, you can color the text with the darker color, green. Now, if you see this, you should avoid this since the contrast is low. You can barely see the text that is blended with the background. And here's a short demonstration on how to choose your color wisely. So I have set up here a new presentation. So I have input here APC MSC and a plain background. Now this already has a great contrast. But if you want to use a darker color, let's put here a dark blue. Now, it's hard to see the text if you're far away from the screen. Of course, if you want to change it, you just need to choose a lighter color. Since I choose blue, and we have here the other shades of blue, you can also pick any lighter shade. So you can use this color, or you can use the basic color, which is white. If you want a very light background, if I choose this light orange, now you can't even see the text clearly. Now most of the time you can use this type of shade, or this, or most of the time just dark black. But we usually avoid dark black and just go with the much lighter color of black, which is gray. So that is how you initialize your color for your presentation. Next is the text. So text, there are two types of text. Mhm. So there are two types of font family, sans serif and serif. Serif is a font that has tipped end of this edge of the letters. It is used to mimic ink writing, while sans serif is a basic text that is flat on the edges. What is more formal to use in a presentation, sans serif or serif? In presentation, sans serif is much more formal to use as it is more readable compared to serif, which is formally used in documents. And here are some useful websites to enhance your presentation. Colors.co is a website that generates colors that you can use. Pixabay and Unsplash contains free stock images such as the one we used before, and Online PNG Tools contains editing tools for editing images such as the color, saturation, contrast, and such. After usage and significance, we will go to saving. There are various ways to save a presentation. There are two options to save your presentation. One is a manual save, and the other is an autosave, which you can turn on and or off, and it will periodically save whenever you add or change an element in your PowerPoint. If you want to save our presentation with custom fonts, go to the File tab and then Options. Then go to the Save tab and click the Embed fonts in the file. What is embed font? What is embed fonts? These are fonts that are not saved in the font database of Microsoft. Most of the time, you download fonts from font.com that are made by other people. With this, you can see your presentation in the custom fonts instead of having the default font it is not present in if not it is present in your font database. You can also encrypt your presentation with the password if you do not want other people to open, view, and edit your presentation when transferring it. You can always also choose the always open read only if you want others to only view the presentation, limiting the editing. And you can also save your presentation in your OneDrive. When you connect the app to your email, you can connect your student email to automatically save it in your OneDrive. To have another demonstration, let's go to uh, our new presentation. Here, you can see the autosave on the top left corner of the screen. You can click on, then you can choose your presentation, then add your name. So let's say new presentation, then click OK. Now you just have to wait to name your document. Then what also autosave helps you is whenever you try to close your presentation and you don't actually save it, autosave will actually help you saving your last edited document. Now let's go to File. To embed fonts, you have to click Options, and once you go to the save, just go to the bottom of the screen, and you can see there here is the embed fonts in the file. When you click this, you have two options: embed only the characters used in the presentation, or embed all characters. Now, the most optimal option you can use is only the characters used in the presentation. This limits the file size of your presentation if you have a presentation that is 50 slides or a 60 slide, or if you want, you can embed all characters, which is helpful if you want to transfer some fonts to your friend if they don't have it, or convenience wise. And here you can also see if you uh, if you want to protect your presentation, you can just click the protect presentation, then you can encrypt with the password. If I put the password, an example is this. It's not identical. Anyways, you can also always open read only, and you can restrict access from the presentation. Now going back, and our last topic would be the presenter mode. Presenter mode is a special screen usually present in the presenter's monitor that aids through providing presentation tools. You can access it in the slideshow tab, and by clicking use presenter view, you can access this. As mentioned, there are different tools you can use in helping you present. There are three categories: tabs, display, and functions. Let's start with the tabs. Show taskbar reveals your desktop taskbar, where you can go through different apps if you want to exit your presentation. Display setting switches between the presenter view and the slideshow. If you don't want the presenter mode on your screen, you can always go back to just the slideshow. And slideshow ends your presentation in the current slide. If you want to stop your presentation, you can use this. Onto display, we have different screens and display data here. Presentation time shows the duration of your presentation or how long the slideshow has been on. You can view this if you set a limit on your presentation, let's say just 10 minutes. It gives you a reference on how long your presentation is. Then there is a pause button to stop the timer, reset button to bring back the timer to 0, the slideshow screen that shows the current slide, and the current time, which shows the computer's time, which is located on the far right of your monitor. Then beside it, you can view the next slide of your presentation as well as the notes for the current slide, and adjust the note size either to make it bigger or smaller. At the bottom of the main screen, you can control the slide using the previous button and the next button. It also shows you the slide number you're currently in, as well as the number of the slides. You can frame your presentation based on the slide number, or if you will stop on your presentation, you know what slide you stopped on. Last are the functions as highlighted. First is the pointer, which gives you a pointer on the screen. You can change it from a laser pointer, a pen to write on the presentation, and a highlighter if you want to highlight points without overlapping it using the pen. There is an option to collapse your screen to view all slides. Here you can see all the slides you made and form into a gallery. Next is the zoom option. You can use this if you want to focus on an area if your presentation is cluttered, especially when there are multiple topics on one slide. So you can just focus on that specific area. You can also display a black or white screen if you want to pause your presentation or write something on it using the pointer tool. You can use the pen to change the color and such. You can also add subtitles to the slideshow. If you have subtitles prepared, you can check other options here, such as the different tabs, such as Hide Presenter, View, Black or White Screen, and Settings for your subtitle. You can also end your slideshow here. And to show you and to demonstrate you what the presenter mode looks like, I'll change my screen from here. Now that's the gallery mode. And you can see here the show presenter view. If I click this, my screen would change. And here's what I show you, the show taskbar, which would show the taskbar at the bottom. Display settings would swap the presenter view and slideshow if you have two screens. This is very handy if you have like another monitor or even a projector, or you can duplicate the slideshow. You can end the slideshow here, and here is the timer. And if I click the pause button, the timer would stop. And if I unpause it, it will go again. And if I click the restart the timer, it would go back to 0. And you would check here the computer's real time. Here's my screen. Here is the next slide. And here is the notes that I have. And I can increase it or decrease it in font. When I click this and then click the laser pointer, it would actually show a laser pointer on the screen. This would reflect on the slideshow. If I click the pen and write here, I would actually write something on that. If I click the highlighter, it wouldn't actually overlap the images you put here in the slide. And you can use the eraser to erase all the screen. It also erases one huge block of ink. So instead of having to erase it per pixel, you can just erase it completely. If you want to click the slides or change the slides, you can just go here. If I want to zoom, if I want to just focus on the 3 categories that I have, you can use the zoom. If I just want to go back to the black screen, you can also use here. And since I told you that you can write here, you can actually put an equation here. So if you're on a math class, you can demonstrate different equation and solutions here, just like that. You can't use the highlighter, but you can also use the laser pointer. Then when you go back, there's nothing there since it is a black screen. It's not automatically erased. And if I added a subtitle, it would actually put here. Now, you can the subtitle actually could put it automatically when you are talking. So it automatically puts here and it's inputting what I am saying. So we can also check here. We can hide the presenter view. We can change the screen. We can also change the subtitles where it is located. And we can also end the slideshow. Now, if we want to hide the presenter view, now we'll go back to of course, the slideshow. But I want to stop this. So let's go to the pen. So here. Anyways, we have our last tool that you can help in your presentation. So this is called the Rehearse with Coach. This is only available in the web version of the PowerPoint in the office. You can check it out on portal.office.com. Access it through slideshow and rehearse. So what does Rehearse with Coach do? It will give you time to present and it will input your voice through your mic. It will track your voice and give different advices such as fillers and pitch. When I tried this out, it gave accurate advices, especially when I said It displays the filler advice. At the end, it displays different data based on your presentation such as the total time you presented, your pace, pitch, originality, as well as if you had any fillers. Then let me demonstrate on how to use the presenter coach. This card. So I am here in portal.office.com. Use this with your APC student email. So when I go here in slideshow, then click rehearse with coach, I would go in a slideshow to present. Then if you allow it, it would start rehearsing. Just click start. Now I am currently talking and it is giving me feedback. So let's say if I say uh, um, um, it's not showing. So let's imagine that the coach actually gave me something. So if I pause it, then escape, it would give me my rehearsal report. So gave me the summary, the total time I spent, the slides that I rehearsed. It also shows you the originality, sensitive phrases, the pace, which is basically how many words you can say in a minute, your average pace over time. Basically, it gathers data from your previous presentation. It gives you the pitch and also the fillers. So this actually helps you in motivating yourself to talk more. So now let's go back to our talk. So in summary, our talk has been all about presenting and PowerPoint. We discussed the usage where you can create presentation that stands out. We also talk about significance to catch the attention of your audience through a good design. We go in depth with saving your presentation to prepare your presentation if you want to embed fonts, protect, or auto-save your presentation. And lastly, we talked about different tools to aid you in presenting that improves your skills as a presenter. And that is all. Thank you and have a good day.